Hello everybody, welcome back to Connect. Today I am going to be running you through the Reports tab within Connect. So from our home screen here, let's go ahead and click the Reports tab at the top of the screen. Once we've clicked this will bring up the Account Review report and in particular the Overview screen. So off the bat here, we can see that it's got all of our historical data within Connect. So these are shipments dating all the way back to 21, all the way through to the present day. So what we can do here, if we wanted to just show a particular quarter, for instance, we can go ahead and select 2022 Q1 and 2022 Q2. Now, when we select these bubbles, if you like, you'll see the data reflects what you select every single time. So if I deselect Q2 now of 22, the data changes. If I deselect Q1 of 22, the data changes once again. So we've reverted back to that original screen that we saw when we first came on to the report. Now, the spend over time report here, as you can imagine, this will show the company's spend over a period of time. So we can see the 21 spend, 22 spend, 23 spend. Then one nice feature within the reports option is we've got this drill up and drill down option. So if we go ahead and drill up here, the report will change and then it will only reflect the overall year. Instead of by month, it will show the spend over time for 21, 22 and 2023. Then if we drill down to the next level, this will then show the total spend over time by month, but for all of the years of InConnect. So we can see that April is the peak of the spend, if you like, for our data here. And then we can drill back up again if we wanted to and just reflect it once more. And then we can go expand all down one level of the hierarchy entirely. And then this will return us back to the original report that we had to show it all broken down month by month. So then the next report here is the shipments by month. Again, it is, as it says on the tin, the shipments that we have done by month. So if we can look here, we've got January, February, March, April, all the way through the year, and it's broken down by the mode of transport. So we've got air and we've got sea here, as we can see from the color coding that is there. And then we can also click this one here to take us to chargeable. And this is then the average chargeable weight by month. So this then, as you can imagine, again, gives us the average chargeable weight by month. And we can see that air is the typical leader in this area of the report at the start of the year especially. And then it sort of starts to even out towards the December, October time with air and sea. Now, the spend by shipment type. This report here will show which shipment type the company is spending the most money on. So we can see that FCL has had a total spend of 5.49 million and LSE 3.2 million. So that's always useful because there could be some ways that the company could make some sort of cutbacks or change the shipment, the spend by a certain shipment type if necessary, if they were looking to do so. Then finally, we've got the countries, and the countries map shows where the majority of shipments are going. So as you can imagine, the bigger the bubble, the more shipments are going to and from that area. So we've got the import and export options here. So right now we can see the export. So the majority of exports are coming from the United States. And there are also quite a few down here in Pakistan, India and China. And then if we go ahead and look at the imports, we've got the majority once again from the United States. And you see this little trail coming down to South America as well, showing Guatemala, Costa Rica, Colombia. So you can hover over and see all of that information that you could possibly need. We can also zoom in and get a closer look to see where exactly in the United States they're coming from. So this one in particular here is Kansas, for instance. So another very neat feature within Connect to show where the majority of shipments are coming from and going to. Then we've already selected the certain quarter to reflect the data as we amend it there. So what we can do now is we can check this option here. So just below where it says date, we've got this drop down option here. So Right now, it's on ETA Plus. So the ETA Plus means that there is an ETA on a shipment, which is going to be the majority of the shipments. But if we go ahead and select this, we can also look at shipments with an actual pickup, an ATD, ETA, actual delivery, that entire list there. So if we go ahead and select actual delivery, for instance, you then see once again the data changes and amends. So that's another neat option and another nice feature that we can select. So let's just head back to the snapshot ETA here. And then finally, on this screen, we've got these four headers, if you like, these four information bubbles. So these are just a quick overview and quick breakdown. So this shows a $10 million spend, how many shipments we've got, the total volume, and the total chargeable weight by kilogram. Then if we head up to the filters option here, the filters option, this is now a good way to view shipments from a particular mode, shipper, consignee, origin, destination. So you can see all of the options that we've got here on the screen. Now, another option is we can, like I said, with a certain shipper, if we knew the shipper's name, for instance, we can go ahead and search them, or if we knew the consignee. So we can go ahead and freely type them into the bar. So if you didn't want to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the list, this one here, for instance, you can go ahead and type in the name of the shipper, and then it will pull them up within here. Then we can go ahead and select them. So then, once we've selected the shipper, if we go back to the overview, the data from here will then reflect in the account review overview screen again. So the report will reflect exactly what you're doing in the filters. So it's a good way that if you wanted to view a particular lane or a particular company, that's always useful to know. Then we can revert this back. And another nice feature as well is if you are wanting to view a particular port, for instance. So let's go ahead and look at this here. So we can see the United States as an origin. We've got all of these different ports or all of these different options for receiving the goods. So we can go ahead and just select JFK, for instance. Then every shipment that has come out of the origin of JFK, let's go ahead and click on the overview. We can see all of that reflected once again. So the filters is a great place where you're able to really drill down into your data and get a proper view of what you want. It's so customizable, which makes it a great area. So whatever is clicked in the filters section will reflect in the overview screen. Then if we head to the data table here, this shows every shipment we have within the current filter that we set previously. So if we wanted to just return back to the filter screen, then right now, because we've cleared all the filters, we've got every shipment selected. However, if we wanted to view only shipments from the origin of the United States, for instance, then we can select that. We can click back to the data table, and then you see the data amends and adjusts according to what we put in there. Now, the nice thing about the data table is it's a nice quick view of all of the relevant information that you would possibly need. So if we scroll from left to right here, we see job number, link, transport mode, container type, all the way across. And then as we move in here, the valuable sort of information here is that we're able to see the shipment details, the key dates and financials, and it shows this with and without duties and taxes. So so then we can revert back to the filters here. If we wanted to, we can clear all the filters with this button here, click back to the data table, and then this will then return the data to every single shipment that we have because I've cleared all the filters. So this dates all the way back to 2021. Now, another neat feature, something that we've seen in the past when we were doing our shipments tutorial, is this little link button here. This will take us to the particular shipment in question here. So under the job number, let's go ahead and select the one that ends in 97 here. If we click this link, it will pull up the shipment and the full overview screen of the shipment itself. This is everything from the pickup, the legs, the delivery, even the documents and the customs records as well. So always, always, always useful to know that as well. Now, when we get back to the data table, one neat feature, once again, I know there's a lot of nice features in here in this Connect, is we can export this to Excel. So this is something that we see a lot of customers doing. So with this data, this little ellipsis up the top corner here, if we export data, we can choose current layout or summarized data. Let's go ahead and just select the current layout, and then this will export our data into Excel for us. These are usually nice and speedy. As we can see there, it's done in next to no time. And then as I bring up the Excel here, we can see it's exactly the same data that we have in Connect. So job number, link, transport type, container, origin, all the way across. So it presents it exactly how we see it in Connect in this nice data. And then that's everything for the data table. So now if we go down to contacts here, then the contact screen, these are where your contacts within OIA are stored. So these can be your sales agents or your account managers, etc. So any of your key contacts on your account, they will be listed in here. And then the notes section is just a general area showing the public information regarding your report. So it shows how often the data is refreshed, who created the reports, for instance, the report date range, and other useful information, such as the snapshot ETA definitions. So we've got that there as well. Then if we head back to the overview screen, one nice feature, once again, is that we can export this to a PowerPoint or a PDF. So if, for instance, we wanted this certain report, if we want Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4, we can go ahead and select this information there. And then with the export button, we can select PDF or PowerPoint. Now, these take a little bit longer to download because it is pulling a lot of data. So if I just head back to my downloads here, here's one that I created earlier. And you can see that it just takes it into a PowerPoint. So it's perfect for any presentations you may need to make. And it's another quick access to the data that is within your Connect there. So we ran through that as well. The final thing is we can go ahead and click the ellipsis again here. We can export this data. Let's go ahead and select the summarized view this time instead of the data in the current layout. And then this will give us this spend over time in an Excel instead. So we can go ahead and view this data. So once again, it's how it is in Connect, just without it being in that graph form. So I can minimize that, make that a little smaller. We can put it side by side, and then we can see that we've got this data reflected within the Excel spreadsheet. Yeah, that's going to be everything for the account review overview and the account review report. Next, we will be moving on to the current departures and arrivals and the traffic reports.